Hi everyone, it's Jeff from Hot Tub Owner HQ, and this video is a little different than most of my videos. Of course, my channel is about hot tubs and owning, repairing, maintaining them, but a lot of people do occasionally ask me, hey Jeff, do you make money doing this? And the answer is yes. I now make a full-time income, not just from my hot tub YouTube channel. I actually have 4 different websites and the YouTube channel, but I now make a full-time living doing that. And that's astonishing to some people. They don't understand the idea that I just quit my job last week. Actually, it's September 8th as of this recording right now. I quit my job last week. I did give them notice. Of course, I gave them 3 weeks notice. I didn't just quit outright. But I gave notice because I'm now at the point where I can do this full time and make more money doing this, building websites and a YouTube channel, than I could at my day job. And this video is explaining to you how I do that. I'm going to go into all the details. I'm going to show you all the websites I have. I'm going to show you exact numbers of how much money I make. And I'm going to show you the process that I used to create this, because I wanted that freedom and that flexibility to be able to work when and where and how I wanted to work without having to answer to somebody else. And if that's something that you're thinking about, then this video is perfect for you. Doesn't have to be about hot tubs. It could be about anything that you like, anything that you have a little bit of knowledge about. You don't even have to be an expert about it. I'm not an expert at hot tubs, but I've owned 4 hot tubs over the last 15 years or so. So I've learned a lot in owning those 4 hot tubs, mostly from making dumb mistakes. And so my channel, my website and my YouTube channel are all about helping other people who are getting started with hot tubs in avoiding some of those same mistakes. So like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't have to be an expert, but I'm learning as I go, and I've learned a lot along the way, and that's what I'm sharing. And the number one thing I want you to take away from this, if you decide you want to go down this route, is your number one goal should not be to make a bunch of money. That's scammy, that's spammy. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that go into that territory. That's not what my video is about. My video is about finding something that you're interested in or passionate about or knowledgeable about, and how can you help people either with a website, a YouTube channel, or both, and then how can you make a full-time living doing that? How can you make a living helping other people? And if you get that message down, everything else will fall into line. So this video is going to detail exactly how I do that, because to some people that's amazing. I wrote down on an application the other day, blogger, as my profession. It was the first time I'd ever written that. Usually I'd listed my day job as that, and it astounds people. They don't understand how can you make a living blogging and YouTubing, and the answer is you can. I used to make roughly $5,000 a month doing my day job. That was 5, sometimes 6 days a week, 2-hour daily round trip commute. I now make 2 to 3 times that a month doing my blogs and my YouTube channel, and I'm growing roughly 15% a month. And I'm about to add 2 more websites and 1 more YouTube channel later this fall. So it's just going to keep going up and up and up. But again, I don't want you to focus on the money as much as I do figuring out what you're interested in, what you're somewhat knowledgeable about, and how you can help people with those things. If that's your number one mission, I promise you the money will follow. But let's get into some nuts and bolts. I'm going to switch to my computer screen so you can see more about what I'm talking about. So obviously, if you're watching this, you probably know me from my Hot Tub Owner HQ YouTube channel right here. I started this channel in April of 2020, late April, and I've gotten up to a little over 2,000 subscribers, a few dozen videos. I feel like I've gotten pretty good results in the relatively short time I've been doing this. I also have my corresponding website, Hot Tub Owner HQ, and that may be all that most of you know watching this if you've just watched my YouTube videos. But I also have 3 other websites, and then I'm on the verge of starting 2 new websites and another YouTube channel. That's coming later this fall. Not quite ready to talk about that yet, but I am happy to talk about the other websites that I currently have. It all started with this one, Middle Class Dad, a website I started almost exactly 4 years ago. I didn't really know what I was doing. I made a ton of mistakes, and it took a long time, at least 2 years, before I started doing anything right with this website.
but it now earns a decent chunk of money, over $2,000 a month, generally speaking. The next site I started was this one, Kitchen Appliance HQ, which originally was going to be all about kitchen appliances, go figure, but I've since expanded it to like talking about different types of cuisine, food tips, dietary tips, what can I eat at a Mexican restaurant on a keto diet, things like that. As you can see, these are all the most recent posts of mine. I started this website after devouring the videos of a YouTube channel I found in late 2018. That video channel was called the Income School channel, and I still watch their videos, but I started watching their videos and I realized that they were doing things differently than all of the other so-called gurus I'd been following. They were not trying to do spammy backlinks or, dropping your links into Facebook groups in a spammy sort of way. They were not trying to deceive anyone. In fact, their primary mission was to help people, and they figured that if they helped people in a very genuine and true way, then they would be lucky enough to make a good living doing that. And I think that's absolutely true.
I was never one of those guys that was constantly spammy or scammy, but there was a time when my number one goal was making money, and I've had to shift that mindset to where my number one goal now is actually to help people.
And then the most recent website I created is about a year old, and it's called The Grocery Store Guy. And that website was drawn from my 25 years of working for Whole Foods Market. I started working for them, early in my, when I think I was 20. And then I started at the very bottom, worked my way up to store manager, and worked in several stores across the country doing that. And so I gained a lot of valuable experience over the years in doing that. And so this website is dedicated to what I learned. And I've got articles that are geared towards customers, but I also have articles that are geared towards employees, and I've got other articles that are geared towards owners or managers. So there's kind of 3 different buckets on that website. These are some of the most recent posts on that website. And this one I would eventually like to start a YouTube channel for also, because I feel like there's a lot to say about grocery stores. But my point is that collectively, all 4 of these websites and my YouTube channel now, for the month of September, are likely going to earn me over $16,000. That's the gross total. That's not the net profit. And I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean about that in a minute. But that's more than enough to leave my day job and focus on this full time. And that's what this video is all about, kind of detailing how I got from point A to point B.
So as I mentioned, 4 years ago, I was working 45, 50 or more hours a week, often 6 days a week, but some weeks it was five days a week. And I was commuting almost 2 hours a day to get to and from work. And so how did I get from that to being able to quit my full-time job and just focus on doing websites and YouTube? And that's what we're going to dive into here in just a second. And the answer is, I did devour the YouTube videos of Income School that I mentioned earlier, but they have a blogging course, and that is what I'm going to be talking about here in a second. I've looked at dozens of blogging courses, followed dozens of bloggers and podcasters and internet marketers and whatnot. This is the only one I've ever bought, the only course I've ever bought. And, lest you think this is some long sales pitch to get you to buy something, you can totally do what I did without buying their course. I'm going to explain to you why I thought it was worth buying, but their YouTube channel does provide everything that you need to get started doing what I'm doing. But I am going to tell you why I thought it was worth buying and why it's the only blogging course I've ever bought. Their course, again, the guys that started Income School are named Jim and Ricky. They now have a team of people, but it was originally just the 2 of them. And those 2 guys are who you see the bulk of on their YouTube videos. But they have a course. Originally, it was called Niche Site School, and then they changed the name to Project 24. That's what it's called now. Project 24, the name basically means that you create a project that within 24 months can replace your full-time income. Now, for income purposes, they consider full-time income to be $4,400 a month. Me, with my wife working towards her master's and not working, and 3 daughters, I felt like that was not enough money to quit my day job and go full-time into this. So I set a threshold of $10,000 a month. I wanted to hit that 3 months in a row so that I felt good about the consistency of it, and that even if it dropped off some, I'd still be making a lot more than what I was getting in my day job. That was the threshold that I set. You're going to want to set whatever's right for you. But the idea is that you can do it within 24 months. I actually did it in about 18 months. And I think had I been a little bit smarter in certain areas, I could have done it even quicker than that maybe. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you and what you feel like is right. Now, I am going to put a link to Project 24 in the description down below in case you want to check it out. Full disclosure, it is what is known as an affiliate link. In other words, if you click it and you buy it, I'm going to get a small commission for that. It doesn't increase the price to you whatsoever. It's simply a way of saying thank you to me for creating this tutorial that helped you make a decision that was right for you. And everyone and their mother has an affiliate program out there. So if you start a website or a YouTube channel, you can sign up for to be an affiliate for Amazon or Walmart or Target or Home Depot or hundreds of other companies. Whatever you're interested in, whatever you might want to recommend in your videos, there's probably going to be an affiliate program for that where, again, you recommend a product, you provide your link. If they buy it, you get a small commission, but it doesn't increase the price to them. So ultimately, it's a win-win-win. Win for the company, win for the person who bought the product, assuming you're recommending good products, and it's a win for you because you get a small commission if someone buys it from your link. It's a win-win-win. And so the bulk of this video from this point forward is going to be diving in to exactly how Project 24 works, exactly why I think it's an amazing course, and why I think it's well worth your time if you're looking for a side hustle or financial freedom and flexibility. If you want to be your own boss and be able to quit your job just like I did, I think this is the way to go. There's a lot of spammers out there, a lot of scammers, a lot of scammy people in internet marketing. Don't even really like that term. But this is not one of those things. It's something that I feel really, really good about. I am a current member of Project 24. The current price is $449. That may change in the future, of course, and that's for 1 year. Then it renews. Again, the current price for the renewal after 1 year is $199. You could certainly just sign up for 1 year, get what you need out of it, and then cancel your membership. I felt that it was worthwhile to stick around because they're constantly adding things to the program. They're constantly adding new courses, new features, new free things like the themes on my website, which is called Acabado. That's available free to Project 24 members. There's lots of stuff like that that you have to be a member to be able to get for free. And so that's why I thought it was a great reason to stick around. There's also an amazing community forum where the owners, Jim and Ricky, and other people from their team are constantly chiming in and helping people too. So that was another reason for me that made me want to stick around. But I think now let's get into some of the nuts and bolts of the course so you can decide if it's right for you or not.
But before we dive into Project 24, I want to go over my income with you so you can see exactly what I'm making from these different channels. So I'm going to click over to my spreadsheet here. This is my first website, my original one, Middle Class Dad. As you can see, for the month of August, I made a little over $2,800. The rest of these months are projections based on what my monthly fluctuations are in terms of income. And as you can see, with Middle Class Dad, it fluctuates a lot. Part of that is because most of my traffic on that site comes from Pinterest, not from Google. So there's a lot of fluctuation there. Also, I don't really devote much time and energy to that website anymore. It's been months since I've published a new article on that website. So, but as you can see, I'm earning decent money from a website that I'm not really spending that much time on. The next one is my kitchen site, and as you can see, for the month of August, I earned a little over $1,500 from that website. The growth varies a little bit. I had some strong growth at the first part of this year. It kind of died down a little bit during the height of the COVID thing, but last month the growth was 18%, which is pretty strong. I'm adding 2 or 3 articles a week to this website, so I expect that growth to continue pretty strong. You may not know this, but it takes about 8 months from the time you publish an article on a website to the time it reaches its ideal amount of traffic. So it's not an instantaneous thing. You publish that blog post, you're in a ghost town for a long time. So the only thing you really have to do is to keep publishing more. Keep publishing more and more and more, and then 8 months from the time of that first article is when you'll start to see the results. So don't go into this expecting it to be instant get-rich-quick scheme kind of thing. It's not like that. It takes time, especially if your #1 traffic source is just Google, which is what I have for these 3 sites. The next site is the hot tub site, which is probably what you're most familiar with from me. And as you can see, in August, I made a little over $2,600 from the hot tub site. This also includes money generated from the YouTube hot tubs. YouTube, right now, the ads on my YouTube channel are generating probably $300 or $400 a month. That'll continue to grow the bigger my channel gets and the more videos I crank out. But as you can see, the majority of the money is coming from the website, not the YouTube channel. But eventually that will shift. And then lastly, I've got my grocery website that I showed you. That actually earns the most amount of money because it gets the highest amount of traffic. Almost 120,000 page views in the month of August. That's what this number represents here. So I made a little over $3,000 just from the grocery website in the month of August, which, like I said, right now it's September 8th of 2020, so I'm referring to August of 2020. So that's the kind of income that I've made. If we scroll way over here, you can see the total amount of money I made for the month of August was a little over $10,000, 15% growth over the previous month. And then I just expect that to continue. Actually, these growth numbers here are pretty conservative with what I've projected for the rest of the year. I actually think it'll be a minimum of 15%. And then in what they call the fourth quarter, which is the last few months of the year, actually we'll see significantly bigger growth because advertising revenue goes up significantly during those months. Go figure. It's between Black Friday and Christmas and Hanukkah and everything else. There's a lot of money being spent on ads, and there'll be a lot more revenue during that time. Anyway, now for the rest of this video, I'm going to show you Project 24. I checked out dozens of blogging courses. I listened to dozens of blogging podcasts and YouTube videos. Like I said, I had a 2-hour daily commute to and from work. And I spent a lot of that time listening to these things, trying to get information. I listened to lots of different people. Once I found the Income School guys, their message just resonated with me. Help people, don't be spammy, don't be scammy, and know that like any other business, you're going to have to work hard to make it succeed. I looked at dozens of different blogging courses. The only one I've ever bought was Project 24. So I'm going to show you that to you now. If you sign up for Project 24, and I paid $449 for it, that covers the first year, and then it renews at $199 a year thereafter. But if you sign up, you don't just get one course. As you can see here, this course is dedicated to 60 steps to building a successful website. This one is 60 steps to building a successful YouTube channel. And then these are all the other courses you get. Each of these courses is a multi-video course. So it's not just you watch one video. There's multiple videos in all of these. You got a course on SEO, how to monetize. Monetize basically means how do you make money from your website, and there's multiple ways to do that. This course is all about making informational products like ebooks, audio courses, things like that. There's a course on how to get traffic from Pinterest, how to do search analysis, which is sometimes called keyword research. In other words, how do you find the things to write articles about on a website or on a YouTube video? How do you pick those topics, and how do you know what's going to be good? Advertising, ads on websites is often the biggest source of the revenue, and that's definitely true for me as well. So how do you know when your site's ready for ads? How do you get ads on there? What are the ad companies to deal with? Which are the best ones? That's what that course is all about. Improving your own writing, hiring other writers, which I do now as well. There's courses on all of these things. And I'm just going to show you the 60 steps to building a successful website, because that's the very first course I started with. And you can see in here there's literally 60 steps, so the idea is you just go through them one by one. Each one is kind of small and digestible so you don't get overwhelmed. So let's see, let's click on action step 1 of the 60 steps. And you can see here there's multiple videos, but they're not like 40-minute to an hour videos. This one's 2 minutes and 37 seconds. This one's 5 minutes. So there's multiple short videos that describe one specific thing that you need to do. They hold your hand all the way through these 60 steps, so that when you're done with your 60 steps, you will have a website that's up and running, that looks good, that has at least 30 articles on it, which is what they want you to do to start with. And they ideally want you to hit that within 2 months. So you join the course, you start the 60 steps, and within 60 days, you've got a website going with 30 articles. Now, you notice that I have 4 different websites and a YouTube channel, and I'm looking to start more. They don't necessarily recommend that approach, and I wouldn't recommend starting multiple websites at the same time. I have I've got a good groove going now. I've got 6 different writers that I work with. I've got an editor that I pay to edit the blog posts. I still do a lot of the final editing and image selection and things like that. And then I'm the one that hits publish on them. But it's enabled me to really streamline the process to where I can publish 2 or 3 articles a week on each of the websites. Initially, you're going to be doing all the writing yourself, or at least you should be, and you're just going to be a one-person team. And so it's going to be important that you kind of, learn how to do all the basic things yourself before you begin to hire on other people. And it's also going to be important that you kind of figure out how to do this successfully with one website before you jump into a bunch of other projects. If you don't know if you're not sure what to do, you don't want to start 3 or 4 different projects and then have them all fail. That's a huge waste of time. So start with one website, get it successful, get a bunch of articles on there, and by a bunch I mean 60 or more. Then, when it's going well, then you could think about branching off and starting a second one. Like I mentioned, I had one website I started in August of 2016, and then I didn't start my next website until February of 2019. And that was after I hadn't quite joined Project 24 yet, but I'd watched all of their YouTube videos at least twice. So I had a pretty good handle on what to do. The course, though, is much more comprehensive than the YouTube channel. You can learn a lot from their YouTube channel, and you should. But the course goes much deeper, much more specifically, and you get a lot of cool tools. Let me move the screen up a little bit so you can see a little bit more up here at the top. You get a free WordPress theme, and WordPress is the website builder that you should use to build your website on if you're going that route. Some people just do YouTube, and that's cool too. But Acabado is the name of their WordPress theme. You get it for free if you're a Project 24 member, and you can use it on as many sites as you own as long as you're a Project 24 member. If you're not a Project 24 member but you still like their theme, you can buy it outright. I think it's $99. And then you also get, there's some WordPress plugins that they provide for free that would normally be for sale. Let me show you the theme, though, the Acabado theme, because that's what I use on all of my websites. Up here at the top, the menu is hidden until somebody clicks that. I kind of like that because it's super clean, and most people are going to go directly to one of your articles. They may have searched for what's the best hot tub cover lifter, and then it took them directly to this article. Most people are not going to go to your home page and then just decide to search in the menu bar. So that's why the menu is hidden. You can unhide it, though, if you prefer to have it out there. Then it shows you all of the most recent articles over here, little snippet of that, a featured image, my little bios over here, and then if they want to learn more about me, they can click there, and it'll take them to the About page. And it's a very clean theme. It's also a very fast loading theme, which in 2020 is incredibly important. Most people are going to come to your website on a mobile device. So if your website is clunky, if it's slow, if it's got all these crazy bells and whistles that make it look really cool and tricked out, but make it run deathly slow, that's a really bad thing to do. So having a theme that is super fast, like Acabado, is hugely important. That's why I run it on all of my websites. But let's go back to the courses for a minute, because that's where you're going to spend most of your time if you sign up for Project 24. And if you're not, let's say you like the idea of doing this, you're like, okay, Jeff, I get it. You know, I want to make a living talking about hot tubs too, just like you're doing. But let's say you don't want to do it about hot tubs. You want to do about something different, but you're not sure where to start. They have a course on how to pick a profitable topic to talk about. All of these are video courses that help you decide on what to make your channel about, whether it's a website or a YouTube channel or both. There's a whole course on how to decide what to make your channel about. And again, all of these courses, these are all individual courses, multiple videos in each one of these. So almost any topic, any roadblock, any stumbling point that you might come into, they have a course on it. And the best part is they are constantly adding to this course. They're adding courses, you know, maybe not monthly, but several times a year. They are putting out a new course or updating an old course, adding something new to Project 24. It's not stagnant. That's another reason I chose to renew when my renewal period was up this past February. They also have a recommended tools section. So if you want to start a YouTube channel and you're not sure what the best equipment is to get, you can come over here and you can click on the YouTube channel tools and see what they recommend. There's even a video where they talk about why they recommend what they recommend. So it's just a great resource from very honorable, very honest, very caring guys. I've had conversations with these, not in person. I do hope to meet them someday and have an in-person conversation, but we've exchanged multiple messages in the community forum, and let me show you that now just so you get an idea of what that looks like. Again, this is a forum, but it's exclusively for Project 24 members. And you can come over here and just see all the different topics that other people have posted. You can chime in and answer if you want to on any of those. So like this person, you know, posted that their WordPress dashboard just changed languages. They don't have any replies yet. I could probably figure that out and then answer that problem for them and get them back up and running very quickly. But if I have a question, I could also hit the new topic button and post a question here myself. And let me move this up just a hair. You can see here that I've got some notifications here. That means that somebody's either responded to a comment I left or maybe answered a question that I posed. But this is just a great resource, and it's not just other Project 24 members. Jim and Ricky also answer a lot of these questions themselves and their team. Like I mentioned, these days they have a whole team of people, and they're always in here helping people out. Their goal, like I mentioned, is truly to help people, not just to make money. But if you help people first, and that's your #1 goal, money will follow. I promise you that. It's been true for me. I've been blessed in that area. I wanted to make this video so that you could see exactly how I do it. Let me just talk a minute going back to the websites, because that's really my forte. I feel like I do pretty good YouTube videos, but I feel like running my websites is something that's even better for me. So the first step is to figure out what to write about. And you don't want to write about just, you know, you see blogs all the time that like, well, why I hate saltwater hot tubs. That's great. And that might do okay on YouTube, but it's not going to do well on a website. And this is why, because nobody's Googling, why does Jeff Campbell hate saltwater hot tubs? Or why do people hate saltwater hot tubs? And they might Google something like, are saltwater hot tubs good? And I probably have an article about that. Let me scroll down here. I don't see one easily accessible. But so the first step is to write about something that people are actually going to Google. Are inflatable hot tubs easy to pop? That's something that people would search for in Google. The next step is to Google that yourself and see what comes up. Because if the top results in the Google search results are from Oprah and Dr. Phil, and obviously they wouldn't be talking about hot tubs probably, but if the top results are from huge websites, well-known personalities, that's not something I'm going to write an article about, because I don't think I could ever beat them. And if I'm on page 2 of Google's search results, that's as good as having not written the article at all. Almost nobody's ever going to click on my article. I've got to be in one of the top 3 spots to really make this work. So, first step, figure out what to write about that people are actually searching for, then check the competition to make sure that other people who are much better known than me haven't already written about that. So those are the key steps. In Project 24, if we can go back to the courses for a minute, they have a whole course on what they call search analysis, which is exactly what that is. Search analysis right there. They have a whole course on that. And that gets into both here, let's take a look at it. That gets into how to figure out what to write about, creating your hit list of articles, checking the competition. All of those things are located in that course. That is really the key to a successful website, is writing about things that people are searching for and not writing about things that are super competitive. If I could just dumb it down to 2 sentences, that would be it. That's how you make a successful website. And there's millions of websites out there. Unfortunately, a lot of people get that part wrong. And that's why you see lots of bloggers fail and lots of websites fail, is they don't understand one or both of those things. And that's crucial for you to understand. Luckily, in Project 24, that's included in their courses to help you navigate through that. I don't want to keep boring you. I feel like I've given you a lot of information. The purpose of this video was simply to explain how I make a living talking about hot tubs and other things too. If you have questions about Project 24 or about my websites or about how I make money, please leave me that in the comments down below. Like I mentioned, I'm going to leave a link to Project 24 in the comment description down below as well. I would love it if you clicked that link and checked it out. If you decide to buy it, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does pay me a small commission for having explained it to you, giving you this tutorial for free. And it's a great way to say thank you to me for creating this tutorial. If it's not for you, no harm, no foul. It doesn't cost you anything. But if you decide to buy it, I would love it if you bought it through my link. Like I mentioned, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just a nice way to say thank you to me. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll see you in the next hot tub video.